They are beautiful, abundant with various types of wildlife, and necessary for tropical ecosystems to flourish. That's right, I'm talking about the coral reefs. Many people may have differing opinions on why the coral reefs are disappearing. Today I'm going to talk to you about how humans are the major cause of coral reef decline around the world. I want my audience to see how we are impacting the reefs and possibly what they can do to help out the decline in coral reefs. My credibility comes from several different sources, those being the journals of Nature, Ecology, Evolution and Systematics, Marine and Freshwater Research, and Marine Pollution. I am speaking out on this subject because I am a wildlife biology major and I can see how quickly these reefs are disappearing, and I can see how that is impacting the wildlife that call them home. I just want to raise awareness on this topic and hopefully change some habits people may have and/or opinions about why the coral reefs are declining in the first place. The values for this speech are as follows. The first value is shared responsibility. The second value is global responsibility. And the third value is sustainability. First, I will start by discussing the fishing industry and agriculture and its impact on the decline in coral reefs. The increasing demand for fish and seafood is a direct impact on the coral reef's disappearance. This increase in demand is coupled with an increased human population worldwide. When there are more people, there are more mouths to feed. A study done by Hughes and others reviews the current knowledge of the status of coral reefs and human threats to them now and in the near future. Until recently, the direct and indirect effects of overfishing and pollution from agriculture and land development have been the major drivers of massive and accelerating decreases in abundance of coral reef species. And this is from the study Hughes and others. The demand in markets for fish and other natural resources has become global, creating an even bigger issue for the reefs. Overfishing has reduced fish and invertebrate indicator organisms to low levels on most reefs, including those within marine protected areas, and this is a study done by Hoegh-Guldberg. There are several things that can be done to help out the coral reefs and keep them healthy and abundant throughout the world's oceans. Overfishing, particularly of herbivorous surgeonfish and parrotfish, affects more than just the size of harvestable stock. It alters the entire dynamics of a reef altogether. Reduction of fishing of these herbivorous fish may help decrease the rate at which coral reefs are declining. Climate change is also another big issue for coral reefs. Climate change has various impacts on our ecosystem and the world around us. Climate change and its impacts on coral reefs is a huge responsibility we have to take on head-on globally. Humans are a major cause of climate change, and the increasing human population has an impact on that. Rising temperatures have been an indicator of climate change for some time now, and that has been found due to the human population increase. One of the most destructive things that can happen to a coral reef is called coral bleaching. Coral bleaching occurs when the thermal tolerance of corals and their photosynthetic symbionts is exceeded. Mass bleaching has resulted in significant losses of live coral in many parts of the world, and this is from a study done by Hoegh-Guldberg. The human reshaping of the Earth has reached a truly global scale and is unprecedented in its magnitude and rate, and increasingly involves significant impacts on the climate. And this is from a study done by Meyer and Turner. According to Hughes and others, even though climate change is by definition a global issue, local conservation efforts can greatly help in maintaining and enhancing resilience and in limiting the longer-term damage from bleaching and related human impacts. They also discuss how managing coral reef resilience through a network of NTAs integrated with the management of surrounding areas is clearly essential to any workable solution for these reefs. Sustainability of the coral reefs around the world is something only humans can control and something humans must take control of. These reefs must be maintained and taken care of because they provide not only us with resources, but a whole nother world under the ocean with the necessary resources to live. According to Hughes and others, coral reefs are highly productive hotspots of biodiversity that support social and economic development. Their protection, therefore, is a socio-economic imperative as well as an environmental one. Confronting large-scale crisis requires a major scaling up of the ecological processes that underlie reef resilience. Managing for improved resilience, incorporating the role of human activity in shaping ecosystems, provides a basis for coping with uncertainty, future changes, and ecological surprises, and this is a study done by Bellwood. Humans are going to be responsible for these changes and alterations that need to be made. If humans do not step up and help to sustain these reefs, there could be a drastic problem that affects us and our environment. To limit the damage, emerging management strategies based on greatly expanded networks of NTAs, coupled with the stronger protection of adjacent habitats, needs to be vigorously implemented. So overall, I talked about how the coral reefs are declining due to human impact. I talked about the fishing industry and agriculture. I talked about climate change, and I talked about how we are responsible for sustaining these reefs for the future. So I think we owe it to ourselves to sustain these reefs for future generations to view. I myself have not yet had the chance to view the coral reefs, and I've heard it's a truly remarkable experience from those who have seen it, and I would really like to view that and have future generations view those beautiful reefs before they are destroyed by us.